In today's video, I'm going to show you a little bit of an update of some house renovations that we are working on, as well as some deep cleaning and organizing around the house. Come along and let's get some stuff done together. Hi guys, I just want to take a minute and welcome you to my channel as well as introduce myself. My name is Tiffany. I am a wife, a mom, and a bonus mom. My husband and I live on the Gulf Coast of Florida. We were both born and raised here and enjoy all the things that Florida has to offer. We love being outside, beach, sun, sand, parks, all the things. Here on my channel, I hope you get some motivation to get some things done around your house and to tackle your to-do list, as well as maybe some ideas of some things that need to be deep cleaned or organized. Let's get to it. Here I'm just going to start by making my bed. This is something I tend to do every morning first thing, kind of like a pre-workout, get it done, and then I feel like I can tackle some more things on my list. Alright guys, so as we continue throughout this video, you're going to notice that things are a little out of order, a little out of place, a little chaotic. We are updating the interior of our home. We started by painting the ceilings and are moving on to the walls hopefully this weekend. I am ready to put my house back together. We were affected by Hurricane Ian this time last year, and this is the last of what needs to be repaired. We had a couple water spots on the ceiling, which is why we started there, and are very aware that no two shades of white paint are exactly the same. So the ceiling took a lot longer than we anticipated, but it's okay. Things around here are going to get worse before they get better, and that's okay, but I'm looking forward to the finished product. So this morning I had dropped my daughter off at school and went ahead and picked up our groceries. I had already put away all the cold stuff. There was just a few things remaining that I had left out to restock in the pantry, that kind of thing. Did my workout, and now I am moving on to doing some meal prep. I say meal prep very loosely. We are sticking with our staples, very simple meals, just so that at night or in the evenings, my husband and I can work more on tackling what needs to be done around the house as far as patching things in the walls, cleaning up behind us and finishing the ceiling and all of that. So this week we are just going to keep it simple. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and start on this chicken salad that I had shared last week. It is still one of my favorites. Something I've been reaching for. I think I've made it twice this week already. It's just some shredded chicken, celery, poppy seed dressing, honey glazed walnuts, cranberries, and this week I forgot to get apples at the store, so no chopped apple. But that's okay, it's still delicious. weeks ago, I had mentioned that fall weather was nowhere in sight here in Florida, but it had appeared for a brief moment. As you can see, I'm wearing like my leggings, yoga pants, whatever, and a sweatshirt. I am a Florida baby, so it dropped below, I think, 84 degrees, and I was freezing. My husband and I did live in Pennsylvania for about 7 years and moved back. We both did not do well with the cold when we moved there. Neither one of us had ever even seen snow or the seasons changed. It was a great experience, but we are not built for cold. So anyway, this lasted for a whole 2 days, and you'll see a little bit later in the video, I'm back to my tank top and shorts. So I am just on now to doing a little bit of deep cleaning, not a super great cleaning of our oven. I had made bacon in the oven and there was some grease splatters, so I like to try to wipe that up as soon as I can, just so it doesn't get baked on or continue to get really bad. I had done a deep clean of the oven a couple weeks back, but I just wanted to wipe it down. And then my oven also has a steam clean option, which is really helpful to break up some of the grease and food that had been caked onto the rack as well as to the sides of the oven. So I went ahead and ran that and then did another wipe down. So like I had said before, this week's meal prep is super simple, keeping it very easy. I did our weeknight salmon, very easy meal to put together. Just some salmon, McCormick Montreal chicken seasoning, and some lime juice. And you bake it for about 15-20 minutes. I can handle that. I usually serve it with some wild rice or some green beans or whatever frozen veggies we have. The other 2 meals that we did this week, I did a big pan of taco meat, and one night we had tacos, the next night we had nachos with some of the leftovers, and I added like refried beans to kind of add to what I had leftover. leftover. And then we did a crock pot meal. I bought a pot roast kit, so just threw everything in the crock pot and we were good to go. But just tried to keep things easy, along with doing some of the stuff around the house. We still are working and school and all the other activities and running amok, to keep up with all the things. This week for my daughter is homecoming week, so that comes with a whole slew of new events for us. There was a bonfire one night, her JV cheer game, the varsity game for band is tonight. as well as getting ready for the dance and figuring out pictures, which she invited all of her friends here while the house is a complete disaster, but that's okay. So we got the yard ready and cleaned up for photos so that we can just do pictures outside. But I just wanted to keep our meal plan this week very easy so it wasn't an additional stress on our plate. But prepping ahead definitely helps to alleviate some of the what are we going to do for dinner, not running through the drive-through when things get crazy and hectic, just to know that like something is here. We can eat an early dinner or a later dinner or whatever, and everything's ready to go. That is one of my big go-tos on crazy weeks, especially. So now I was just on to cleaning up the patio. I hadn't done this in a few weeks, even though it was on my to-do list a few weeks ago. I just never made it out here. And my daughter had done a craft project, so there was a little bit of paint left over on the glass table. So I just went ahead and wiped that down, and the floor out here definitely needed to be swept. My trusty little sidekick, Leo, likes to bring in sticks and leaves and chew them and either bring them into the house or here on the patio. So it was definitely time, along with all the sand and dirt that gets trapped in his little paws and dog hair everywhere, of course. But I was just going to go ahead and get this swept up and cleaned up while it was nice outside. And then, the next day a storm came and Leo chewed some more leaves and we were back to square one. So here's just a quick glimpse of the disaster and chaos that I was referring to earlier. And as you can see, I am back to my shorts and tank top. So I was just gonna do some quick straightening of what I could straighten, wipe down surfaces that I could wipe down, focusing mostly on things that I can do and can control at the moment, and trying not to let all the craziness and everything in disarray get to me too much, more so thinking of the finished product. It's just going to be a little bit of a longer process than I would like, but that's okay. It'll look really nice when we're finished. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. So yes, I know this might sound crazy, but I feel like my floors have been dirtier since the furniture has been moved about. I think it's because we do not have any of our rugs out. Like here by the French doors, we don't have our rug there to wipe our feet when we come in from the back door. We don't have any of the rugs in the living room or the front door. And I think everything is just getting tracked in, as well as Mr. Leo with his paws coming in, bringing stuff in. So I've been trying to clean up the floors a lot more often, which just takes a little bit more effort, especially on the half of the house where the furniture is. I'm just doing the best I can with what I can do. I can move the love seats and the sofa around fairly easily. The dining room table is a beast. It's extremely heavy. So that one is not getting moved, and I'm not moving the rolled up rugs around. It'll be okay. But I'm just trying to get like mostly the main traffic areas and just trying to keep the floor clean. I do not like when I feel sand on the bottom of my feet, which has had me wearing shoes a lot more often the last couple days. Alright, so now one of the things that I needed to do was to clean the walls. This is one of the areas that we are going to be tackling this weekend, and I just wanted to make sure there was no dust or dirt or grime on the walls, and you would be surprised that there was dog hair on my walls, which really freaked me out, but it was falling as I was cleaning. So what I was using here was a clean mop head. I have the Osier spin mop, so I have mop head replacements, and you just throw them in the wash and wash them in between, which I really like, so you don't have a stinky, nasty mop and can keep bacteria down. But I was using that with some really hot water. I have a kettle that I boiled water in, added that to my mop bucket, and about 3 cups of white distilled vinegar and just a little bit of soap. I just wanted to make sure everything was clean, dust free, wiped down, so that we can tackle painting the walls this weekend. gonna move out to the garage, we had an issue and had to get our hot water heater replaced. So the old one leaked. We moved everything out of the way. Now I gotta clean up, and of course I found more messes. So clean up, organize, and put everything back. So while I was out here, I decided to go ahead and sweep the garage floor, especially back there behind the freezer and in the corners. There was a lot of dirt and dust and cobwebs, all the things you would expect to find in your garage. But if you look here in the background, you might notice that the trees are moving. It was extremely windy, so by the time I had finished and picked up my daughter from the bus stop and came back, everything had blown right back in the garage. So looks like my efforts were wasted. It's okay, we'll just tackle it another day. This was not something that was on my to-do list this week, but the water heater and life had other plans for us. So now we have a nice new water heater and it works really well, and that's all we can ask for. Alright, so if you've made it this far, I just want to thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope to see you here again next time. I just added a few behind the scene clips so you could see a little bit of what we've been working on here at the house. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!